Hi, Jody and Jessa. It's Michaela again, and today I will be talking to you all about agenda setting theory. There's a lot that goes into agenda setting theory, so bear with me. I'm going to try and get through it in under 6 minutes. Initially, agenda setting theory was coined by Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw in 1972, and this theory basically says that media does not tell us what to think, but it tells us what to think about, and that's considered the old mantra. The new mantra of AST is that it doesn't tell us what to think, it tells us what to think about, but then it also may even tell us what to do about whatever topic is being flown through the media at the time. A cool quote that the two people who coined this theory kind of go off of reads as follows: mass media have the ability to transfer the salience of items on their news agenda to the public agenda. Which brings me to the fact that there are three types of agendas: the public agenda, of course, the news agenda, and then policy agenda. And that refers to how and what determines what agenda gets out there. The next thing that I want to mention is that there are 3 to 4 items on any given agenda, and then the concept of a triggering event, which states that is basically something that puts an item on the table. And we'll get into kind of what a triggering event is in just a few. The first real life example, or the real life example that I want to talk to you all about, is in politics. Seems like the most applicable for agenda setting theory, in my opinion. If we look at the 2016 elections against Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, uh, you can see that, for instance, there were, let's say, on Fox News, there were 3 agendas. One would be Donald Trump, how he was doing in the polls. The next would be Fox trying to mitigate the impact of Donald Trump mocking the physically disabled reporter. And then the third would be some evergreen event that happened that it's a beautiful, nice story, right? Well, a triggering event in this case under Fox News would be when Hillary Clinton's email scandal got out. This would bring that evergreen example off the table and then trigger their covering and media influence on Hillary Clinton's scandals. And I think that's a great example of agenda setting theory in politics. Now, for some utility, I feel that news outlets can and do use agenda setting theory when positioning one issue over another, such as Trump mocking the physically disabled reporter, not meaning as much as Hillary Clinton's scandal in the eyes of Fox News. Another form of utility, I think most people think of agenda setting theory and they think news coverage and that type of media, but they don't take into account the social media aspect of it. So a quick example would be Twitter pushing for people to take into account the new policies that they've implemented on privacy and the 280 characters for a tweet as opposed to 140, positioning those two agendas over the fact that they're allowing neo-Nazis to tweet and spew out hate through their platform. Again, pushing one agenda over another to influence, in this case, the people who use Twitter, their thoughts about Twitter to be more positive than what they should be. Lastly, for my research studies, the first one was the internet and Chinese politics, in which they found a bi-directional sort of agenda setting happening from the online public opinion as well as their media outlets. That both of those types of public agendas and news agendas influenced the way the public viewed Chinese bureaucracy. The next one is coverage of Pakistan 2008 general elections. Now, Pakistan has 3 major news outlets: the Daily Nation, the News, and Dawn. And they found that while all 3 had some sort of influence on the election outcomes, that the Daily Nation had the greatest influence through both political writing and then political coverage on how those outcomes turned out. The last one is the influence of mass media on the Belgian parliamentary. Over time, they found that mass media influenced the outcome of the Belgian parliament and how they were basically overviewed and oversighted. Um, and it increased over the span of 1993 to 2000, basically showing again how mass media has the ability to influence our decisions. But it is important to note, in my opinion, that correlation is not causation here. Um, and then again, the last thing is that media doesn't reflect reality, but they filter and shape it. And that's the basic assumption of agenda setting theory. Thank you for a wonderful semester, Jody and Jessa, and y'all have a great holiday weekend.